Well pressed now, Nick Rushworth here on set. Starting off with a worrying story. This is in the International Herald Tribune.
On the front page of the Trib, and I can show you that picture there of Arctic ice, which is at its lowest level ever. That's what scientists were saying on Monday. A record for that level of ice in the Arctic, and the suggestion in the article that goes along with that photo is that we could be heading for no summer ice in the Arctic by the end of this decade. Now, originally forecasts were perhaps by the middle of the century. So, you know, the global warming, is that moving on? And The Independent is addressing that question, and it has a comment piece by the science editor who is saying this is not just about natural variation, natural variability, which is what is a debate among some scientists. What it comes down to is the fact that, that there is man-made effect, and he quotes that in that piece a German research, the Max Planck Institute, which says that the indicators for natural variability, such as solar radiation or Arctic winds or the flows under the water, they do not explain the intensity of this decline we're seeing. So a worrying note there. My reaction reading that was, well, are we heading for Arctic tourism? We all want to get a last glimpse of the ice before it goes.
Yeah, good story for the Green Movement, isn't it? Hope of some resolution in Colombian politics.
Well, this is big news, of course, in South America. The FARC, it seems, have held talks with the Colombian government. The president, Juan Manuel Santos, has said that. There you can see elpais.com with that story. And, well, his quote in there is, we will see this through, but the army will not give an inch of ground in discussions. So also he's saying we will learn from past mistakes. Now, a Colombian paper, I turn to the Colombian press, El Espectador, is saying, well, peace is victory. We're on the eve of 50 years of the conflict with FARC. Too many Colombians have died in a fratricidal war, that paper is saying. Now it's hoping for an end to fighting, maiming, funerals and mourning, Stuart.
OK, you're staying with the Spanish language press for the next story. Looking at the mood of austerity in Spain because of the Euro crisis.
Well, there's outrage in Spain. This is in El Mundo about an MP who says, I don't do well, it's too much of a struggle for me on 5,100 euros a month.
Wow.
1 in 4 people in Spain are unemployed. He's had to eat humble pie big time. One of his problems has been that he's got 2 mortgages. So he's having difficulty selling one house. I mean, it goes on. So the Spanish people are not happy with him about that.
Foot in mouth, rather, there. Another paper looking at austerity as well, this time Greece, perhaps not surprisingly.
Well, look at this cartoon in Katamarini. It shows Antonis Samaras, the Prime Minister of Greece, returning from talks in Berlin and Paris, saying, we did a great job, now let's get down to work. And the viewer of the TV is saying, hey, hold on, what work? I don't have any work. But just to end, just a lovely story here from Down Under, Sydney, Australia. It's about perhaps political correctness gone mad. It's school children at a primary school in Sydney have been told, you cannot do handstands and you cannot do cartwheels in the playground, Stuart. What's all that about? It's completely mad.
They can do it on the front page for the newspaper, though.
Well, it's big news over there. There's a big petition among the parents. It's on the front page of the best-selling paper in Sydney, Handstand Off, and we can see that inside story. One of the education officials says, well, what would you think if one of your children were, in trouble in the playground? My reaction reading that was, well, those kids will probably go in with Pink Floyd, another brick in the wall, or pulling funny faces, at least.
I think they might be singing certain lyrics to it. Yeah, just watch yourself. You never know. If you do a handstand, you get thrown out of school. Not so good. Nick Rushworth, thank you very much for the international papers here on France 24.